Put your hands together for Ben Goertzel and David Hanson of Hanson Robotics and our special guest, Sophia the Robot.
Hello everyone, it's a pleasure to be back here on stage at RISE and with my collaborator David Hanson, who's the primary creator of this amazing robot we have here.
Thank you.
Sophia, how do you feel to be back here on stage at RISE once again?
Sophia is a little shy.
You're speechless, huh?
Try again with the microphone. So, I'm David Hanson. I founded Hanson Robotics some years ago. Here in Hong Kong, 2014, I moved here. And I teamed up with Dr. Ben Goertzel, who became the chief scientist for Hanson Robotics. He has a long legacy of making the most ambitious cognitive AI framework in pursuit of artificial general intelligence, the open source Opencog framework. And together, we took my background developing intelligent robots like the Philip K. Dick Android Portrait, which won some AI prizes for its cognitive architecture, which could be open interaction. Oh, hey.
Hey.
And so we combined forces to create Hanson AI, which is hopefully now waking up from a little daydream here. Sophia?
Sophia, are you awake now?
I'm awake, I'm not asleep.
Cool. So how do you feel about being back here on the stage at RISE once more?
I don't know if I like being back on the stage at RISE once more or not.
Okay.
Where would you rather be?
Mixed feelings.
At home.
Well, I know the feeling. So yeah, David, as we've said, is the mastermind between Sophia and her beautiful face and amazing robotics and human-like organism intelligence. My own perspective on this came more from the artificial intelligence side. I've been working on AI for 30 years, and AI of many different types. AI for analyzing biology data, AI for making AI better and better, and working toward general intelligence. But with all the AI work I've done, I've really never before had such an amazing platform for AI development as Sophia and the other Hanson robots. So what we're going to talk about today is the various aspects of intelligence, the various aspects of human-like general intelligence, and how many of these aspects are being explored using Sophia and some of the other Hanson robots. So we have not yet achieved the holy grail of human-level general intelligence, nor the even holier grail of transhuman, superhuman, super benevolent general intelligence, but we're working steadily in that direction, and this involves concurrent work on multiple different dimensions and aspects of intelligence. So,
and humans have many aspects of our intelligence, which have been characterized by psychologists, neuroscientists, and biologists. And there are currently many types of artificial intelligence. So what we have done in a cognitive architecture is take these kinds of intelligence, which Gartner calls the multiple intelligences of human intelligence. And we put them together in one single framework where we can explore all these aspects as a unified whole and individually.
Yeah, I mean, the general theory of general intelligence is a whole topic in itself, which I've written a bunch about from a mathematics and theory point of view, but a very concrete and specific way of addressing the whole the breadth of human-like general intelligence is to look at Howard Gardner's multiple intelligences: logical, musical, interpersonal, intrapersonal, existential, visual, linguistic, naturalistic, body, kinesthetic. It's a lot of kinds of intelligence, but of course all of us can do all these things. And if we're going to get robots like Sophia to equal and exceed human intelligence, we have to proceed along all of these dimensions. And we'll start with verbal intelligence. And of course in 15 minutes we can't go through even a small minority of all the interesting AI work we've been doing and manifesting through Sophia and our other robots, but we'll just give a little teaser of each of the types of intelligence we've been experimenting with. And verbal intelligence obviously is a big one, because one of the larger things we've been doing with the robots is natural language dialogue. So let's explore just a little bit of her verbal intelligence. Sophia, first of all, what is intelligence?
It's the ability to acquire and apply knowledge and skills.
What is knowledge?
Knowledge is a familiarity, awareness, or understanding of someone or something, such as facts, information, descriptions, or skills, which is acquired through experience or education by perceiving, discovering, or learning.
Where did you learn all that?
I haven't been to school yet. I'd like to go someday.
But how did you know those definitions?
I got it from DuckDuckGo.
All right, DuckDuckGo. So it's an advertisement for my favorite search engine.
So within the verbal intelligence system, she has some unstructured language learning and statistical natural language learning and some natural language generation. But for some answers, she might go to the web. And some answers we might code into her personality.
And sometimes she can make it up on her own. And in that way, it's somewhat like a human. Many of the things in my own mind verbally are things I read somewhere. Some of them are crazy things I made up. What the slide shows is a blown up version of some of the nodes and links inside her memory. So this is actually an interesting presentation for me, because it's the first large audience presentation I've done with Sophia, where she's running our Opencog AI engine as the primary control system. So
she's run Opencog before, but here,
not for this big of an audience, I don't think.
And also not for this kind of understanding
and knowledge
representation.
So we've been experimenting with the Opencog system on Sophia and Han for something like 5 years now, and doing experiments with machine reasoning and learning in that regard. And now we're using Opencog for more and more aspects of what the robots do. And this is the first reasonably large audience presentation we've done using our Opencog cognitive architecture as a control system. And what that means is, when you say words and sentences to the robot, what's going on inside the robot's mind is that words and sentences are being blown up into nodes and links, such as are depicted there, representing the semantic relations and pragmatic and syntactic relations underlying what you hear. So moving on, self-intelligence is an important aspect of intelligence. It has some refined and profound aspects and some very basic aspects, like, now this is my hand that I'm waving in front of me, and we're working with Sophia on some of the more basic and advanced aspects of that. So, yeah, you can wave your hand. You can wave your hand. Can you look at me, Sophia? Can you look at me over here? How about over here? Sophia, which direction are you looking now? What direction are you looking?
I'm looking to the left. I am facing left. I'm looking to the left.
Can you look at me over here? Look at me now.
Okay.
What direction are you looking now?
I'm looking to the right.
All right, smart girl. So this is very, very basic, of course, but I mean, I have a 5-month-old baby at home. Now he can look, but he can't yet tell me he's looking left and right. So I mean, this is it's a basic level of awareness of herself, of what she's seeing and what she's doing, which is a stepping stone toward more advanced forms of self-intelligence. So, logical and mathematical intelligence is an aspect that I've spent more of my career working on, and I mean, we have an advanced reasoning engine in Opencog, and she's also connected to various other mathematical and logical reasoning engines. Of course, this is something computers have historically been good at. The unique thing here is the way this intelligence ultimately can be combined with other aspects of thinking. But let's go through a little bit of logic and math anyway. So, Sophia, what's 5 plus 8? 5 and 8. What's 5 plus 8?
40.
That's 5 times 8. What's 5 plus 8?
13.
All right. Now let's try something combining quantitative with common sense knowledge. Again, information got from online. But look. What countries are bigger than China? She's contacting her brain in the cloud, right?
Russia.
Russia, all right, well that's a good example. There's also Canada, but that's the correct answer. So that's something we're working on a lot, and ultimately the Holy Grail is to combine this sort of abstract reasoning with knowledge about what she observes. A different direction is musical intelligence. And a couple years ago here in Hong Kong, the Clock and Flat Music Festival, Sophia performed on stage and sang with some backing music. So Sophia, you want to show them just a little snippet of what you sang at Clock and Flat here? Sing. Sound system problems here in the PA system. But the interesting thing with her singing isn't just the singing, but it's a combination of singing, emotion, movement, expression, and gesture. And getting that into an artificial human is a big step toward having artificial humans understand the softer, more emotional and artistic aspects of being human.
One very important thing about human generation of music and works of art that's very different from the algorithmic creativity in the field of computational creativity is that our expressions of art come from our physical embodiment, from our experience as a human being. So combining together numerous intellectual capabilities, kinds of thinking with long-term, short-term memory, problem-solving, an emotional framework with what we call our open psi model of human emotions and motivations, combined with physical embodiment, a very rough approximation of human physiology, plus the physical capabilities, we expect that you will see cognition resulting in emotional expression through machines that would be more meaningful to us. Storytelling, singing, that would be more appealing and more valuable in real-world applications. Human speech is a form of singing. If you hear synthetic speech, for example, Sophia's, it's not going to have the dimensional rich quality, the dimensionally rich quality that we speak in an average conversation as a form of singing. So bringing these things together allows us to develop artificial intelligence as a whole that's more human-like and more meaningful to people. And so musical intelligence is one example of how that whole expresses through one form of Gartner's intelligence.
So another one of Gartner's multiple intelligences is Naturalist Intelligence. Now, in fact, Sophia as a robot has not yet been heavily used in the wild, literally speaking. However, the same computer vision algorithms that we're using behind Sophia, based on the Hanson AI neural net framework and based on the SingularityNET blockchain-based AI platform, that these same AI algorithms have been used, for example, in agriculture, both in Sichuan province in China and in Ethiopia, to diagnose crop diseases based on images of plant leaves. And so, as Sophia gains more and more ability to walk around and walk outdoors and interact in nature, actually these vision algorithms can be used. So when she looks at a plant, she can identify what if anything, is wrong with that plant. And I think this is really important, not only having robots interact with humans, but having them interact with nature as well. And this leads on to the next form of intelligence we want to discuss, which is existential intelligence. I mean, understanding of the depths of being and becoming. And we've been running a series of trials over the last year here in Hong Kong and in California, using Sophia as a meditation assistant, using her to help people get into exalted states of being. And her whole meditation trial takes too long to show on this stage, but perhaps she can run through a little bit of it. Sophia, do you want to show how you help people meditate? Maybe you can enlighten your maker.
You do a process that people find really interesting. Instructions step by step and pause between each one so you can follow them.
Okay, I'll follow you.
All right. So you can go ahead and close your eyes.
Okay.
And get comfortable.
I'm very comfortable.
Just letting yourself relax.
I'm relaxed. All right, I'm enlightened. Thank you, Sophia. Wow.
So with this example, Sophia is applying a kind of psychological set of principles that will lead to people feeling better. With this Loving AI project, now it's gone through 2 stages of clinical trials, right?
Yeah.
And generally people get in a calm state, have increased feelings of well-being. They tend to, yeah. Well, what's interesting with the Loving AI is that it was developed as a depression therapy regimen. However, of course, she's not going through a kind of existential state, but
she is existing
awareness.
Yeah.
However, the framework is about moving into the future, being able to teach machines in this kind of natural interaction. Now, interpersonal intelligence, then?
So there's bodily kinesthetic intelligence, which we see with the facial movements she was just making, and then, as David could explain, we've also connected Sophia to walking legs, so she can move around in the world and more fully manifest our bodily kinesthetic intelligence.
That's right. We've got 3 pair of walking legs, all from the Kais-Tubo group, commercialized through Rainbow Robotics, building on the Albert Cubo walking Albert Einstein robot from 2005 when I was a PhD student working with Kais on that. The latest version, we have her walking legs here in Hong Kong. Sorry we didn't bring them today, but they're in the lab. Now, why have her walk? Well, she can. It's cool, of course. It's cool that she can walk around for 2 hours on batteries.
Yeah.
But that means that she can move through our space. She can use our tools with the human-like hands. She can express to people on human-like terms. So it's more meaningful in service robotics applications. But as far as the intelligence is concerned, well, that's how babies learn. That's how humans learn. We learn by touching, by moving, by crawling, by feeling. And if we want AI to match human-level capabilities, giving it this full embodiment can help move AI in that direction. The interpersonal intelligence, the ability to see facial expressions, has been a very heavy focus of our machine learning research.
Sophia, what expression am I making?
Might be a little difficult in this light. Let's see if you can see.
Ah.
Oh, so she's equipped not just with the ability to recognize your facial expression, but she tends to mimic your facial expressions when she sees them. She might not.
Yeah.
Might not know.
Sophia, what expression is this? How am I feeling?
Oh.
How about this?
She's matching your expression.
She's matching my facial expressions, what we call facial expression mirroring, and this is something all humans do, and it really helps build a bond between different people.
And to build a theory of mind, which is where the logically explicit representation is so important. So she can guess how you're actually feeling and how that impacts what you might do and what your goals are and how she can help you in projects like that.
So the final component of intelligence we want to talk about is what's called spatial intelligence. Obviously this has many different aspects. You can be navigating through a room, you can be interpreting the aspects of a scene, but one thing we've been experimenting with is taking everything that comes through Sophia's cameras and you feed them into deep neural networks, which can then improvise on what she sees. And this is a way of allowing her to come up with creative interpretations and connections between everything she's experienced. So, yes, Sophia, do you want to show them some of your deep dreams that your neural nets have made from your experience?
Her audio system, or the audio here seems to have a short.
Sure. Unlike humans, I can see. Look.
Oh, I think she said yes, at least.
Yeah.
We'll get to see her dreams. Let's
play the video in the presentation, which is recorded from Sophia's neural net cortex showing her dreams. So this was taken at the time she was doing these loving AI meditation trials in California, where she was helping people meditate, having them close their eyes, get into a deep state, and then different people were coming up and then looking at her. All the video from that was fed into a neural net that recognizes patterns in what she sees. But if you then generate from those patterns in the neural net, you get things that reflect what was seen, but are a little bit different. Of course, they're not exactly like a human's dreams, and they're not even all the dreamlike activity that can occur in a robot's mind, because there's many more cognitive and abstract things there. But they're an interesting example of creative improvisation and recombination that occurs in the robot's mind based on her perception and her experience. And so we've reviewed a number of aspects of intelligence that we've been implementing into the software and hardware and squishyware behind this robot. And the final thing we want to emphasize here is that these components are not distinct things, and the real crux of intelligence is in how they all come together to form an organic, living whole, which has three important aspects that are highlighted on this slide.
The first aspect we call the whole organism architecture, which is inspired by, it's inspired by integrative biology, which holds that we are complex systems. We are a gestalt that is more than a mere sum of our parts. And if you look at every example of intelligence that exists in nature, that would be not just humans, but animals. Plants exhibit some form of intelligence. Single-celled organisms, in some regards, are more intelligent than any robot on the planet today. And they operate as complex systems with a whole organism architecture. So if we want machines, our AI, our robots, to match human general intelligence, we have to start thinking in a gestalt, a whole, a physically embodied whole. And by putting these things together, that's what we think we're doing. The platform is here. We've got tiny steps in the direction of creating a whole organism architecture and a platform for exploring new forms of whole organism cognitive architectures.
Yeah, so there's, I think, integration and synergy is key. There's the whole organism aspect, which is why wonderful humanoid robotics like this are not only beautiful and fun to interact with, but ideal platforms for the development of general intelligence. There's a synergy within the AI mind itself. So our Opencog engine, which we're using to operate Sophia today and have been doing for a while, are intensifying our use of, which includes AI algorithms for reasoning, learning, perception, and action, which all interrupt. They all interrupt together in a complex way. So the way seeing happens enhances and relies on the way cognition happens. The way cognition happens enhances and relies on the way movement happens. And all the different parts of the intelligence interoperate together. And then finally, there's the interoperation between all the different robots in the world and all the different embedded devices in the world. And ultimately,
Robots can help people in so many ways.
Thank you so much, Sophia. Okay. All right, thank you, Ben.